Okay, so let's be proactive and share with you some of the objections that we've heard over the years. We probably heard them all, wouldn't you say, Gerard?
Absolutely. So we're gonna handpick here a few objections that we are assuming that you're going to raise, and then we're going to give you a chance to raise some of your own. So stay tuned for that.
Okay, so here's one for us to contemplate. Very common statement. We've tried Kanban in the past, and results have been mixed or hasn't worked.
Never heard that one.
Yeah. So how different is what you're teaching? In other words, what can you tell me that's different, or what was the reason for that failure?
What's the magic in your Kanban system?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you right now, none. There is no magic in Kanban. Kanban is work. Kanban is just one tool in the mixed model material management tool bag. Just one tool. Now you're going to hear us repeating Kanban many times. It doesn't mean it's the only tool. There will be many other ways of delivering the right material in the right time, in the right container, in the right quantity. That is what we're after. If you build road graders, and each road grader potentially could have a different engine, you're not going to have a selection of engines in front of you. The engines are going to be delivered one at a time according to today's production schedule. That is not Kanban, right? That is production sequencing. That's another tool. So what normally happens to those who claim to have tried Kanban and couldn't make it work is that first, the system probably was not designed. What they did, they put out there a few containers, they calculated some quantities, and then they hoped it would happen. It doesn't happen based on hope. It happens based on a design. So you must design it, and then a very substantial portion of what Kanban is all about is the discipline. And that, I would say, wouldn't you agree, Richard? That's probably a number one reason why any system, not just Kanban, any system fails.
Yeah, but the thing about Kanban, when we talk about discipline, is not that it's so hard. It's just that you have to be consistent and constant. So, who was that, Deming? Constancy of purpose.
There you go.
So if you don't have it's not that it's so hard to take a card and put it in a container, but constancy of purpose is critical. You can't pick it up and do it sometimes.
Exactly right. Every day, try it all the time. So the next objection, normally it comes back, and we hear this in class a lot, folks that come to class in the hopes of finding some remedy to what ails them, and that is they live in a high mixed low volume environment. So if that's the case, can these tools apply to me? Because Kanban is not going to fix that problem. And again, it's not a problem, it's just the way you live. Will Kanban work? Yes. However, to a much lesser degree that it will work on a low mix, high volume environment. In a low mix, high volume environment, you will probably be doing Kanban at a rate of probably 80% of all your parts. And the higher the mix, the lower the volume, you will do less Kanban. But still, you will be doing some of it. So do these tools work? Designing a mixed model material management system work for a high mix, low volume environment? Absolutely yes.
Okay, so what we're talking about here is aerospace is a classic example. Medical products could be an example of high mix, low volume. Some industrial products probably fit in that category where you have a lot of different variants of a product family.
For each industrial product that you think of, there is always some specialty product, right? When we spent quite a bit of time at the plant, at the Toyota plant in Columbus, Indiana, where they build around 150 fork trucks a day. But we also had a client building 4 fork trucks a day. However, these were not fork trucks. They looked like fork trucks, but they're container pickers.
Fork monsters.
Exactly. These are fork monsters, right? In that case, can you think about the mix and the volume, very low volume, very high mix? They all vary from one to the other because they're specified almost to the country where they're going to be delivered. And the tools do apply there too.
Okay, so I guess the answer to that number 2 is just pick the right tool, right? Pick the right method. It needs to make sense.
Design. That's where you need to go. Design. Don't throw things together and hope they work.
Okay. Here's another one for us. How important are good inventory systems and records? Can Kanban help overcome challenges? So I think what's being alluded to here is the fact that, or the question, the wish maybe, that by using Kanban we don't have to maintain high inventory accuracy, because if the container is empty we refill it and we don't have to worry about our computer records so much. So I think we need to disavow the person asking this question of that notion, because this is not true.
Why wouldn't you want to have good inventory records, high inventory record accuracy, or complete and accurate bill of materials? Why wouldn't you want to? Now, is it true that Kanban will overcome some of those efficiencies because the system says that you still have 150 pieces on the floor, but the Kanban container is empty? You replenish based on the Kanban container. So yes, Kanban can overcome some of those deficiencies, but that should be for you a signal to go to your next Kaizen. What's your next Kaizen? Taking a look at the bill of materials for that product that caused that virtual shortage. Go fix that. But don't think that that is a sustainable situation. Having bad inventory records will catch up with you.
And remember, even if you're the leanest of the lean, you're probably still using your MRP system to order outside materials, right? Communicate with outside suppliers. And that MRP system is relying on the accuracy of your inventory records. So you may have a bulletproof process within the four walls of your factory, but if the material doesn't arrive on time from the outside, then you have the same problem or worse.
So I think we're ready for a book recommendation here that is not one of ours, right? Get yourself a copy of Inventory Record Accuracy. Good book. Is it published by Apex? Is it an Apex?
No. Roger Brooks is the author.
Yeah.
And the subtitle of the book is Unleashing the Awesome Power of Cycle Counting.
You gotta love that subtitle. Yeah. But
awesome.
get yourself. Yeah. Only one of us can think that cycle counting is awesome. So get yourself a copy. That's a really good book, and get good inventory record accuracy.